Hey everybody, guess where I'm calling? I'm calling Switzerland, the home base of Bernina, worldwide, right?
Worldwide,
Yeah.
yes.
And I'm here, I have the delight to introduce you to Aggy Burczyk. Now, how do I say that properly? I'm slaughtering it.
Okay, I really do believe it depends on the country. If you're
Okay,
here, you would say Aggy Burczyk.
okay.
Quite hard, I know. It's Aggie. Hmm.
So here's the thing, everybody. I've been back there. I had the pleasure of going to Switzerland and see how Bernina works. And I'm telling you right now, see how clean it is right behind Augie? It's like that everywhere in the factory. You people are so organized and clean. You can eat off the floor.
Yes, true. And I have to say, I'm not Swiss, I'm German. So I have to say, yes, the Swiss are like that. I can say that.
Well, listen, everyone. The reason I'm talking to Augie today is that you are the manager of the Bernina Longarm Division, correct?
Correct. The big babies.
So I want to talk to you about them. I have to tell you, I've got to be completely transparent. I don't have one yet.
Okay, we'll
I
change that.
Yeah, I know. I have just been lusting over the Q20 sit down. I mean, if that isn't a beautiful machine, I think it's the perfect machine. Tell us a little bit about the Q series in case somebody doesn't know what I'm talking about.
Yes, basically the Q series are two machines. It would be the Q24 and the Q20. The Q24 is a 24-inch machine and it is dedicated to go on a frame,
Right.
whereas the Q20, a 20-inch throat space machine, can go on a frame, on a sit-down table, which you would like to have. And you can do that anytime. So even if you would decide right now to put the Q20 on a table and say, no, I want to do some more, I want to do pantograph quilting or maybe think about automation, I can do that with the Q20. I just take it from my table, put it on a frame, and I'm good to go.
So it's completely
But
upgradable.
it's completely upgradable, even if you were to add automation later on. Let's say you really get crazy about it. You say, oh my gosh, I need to have more precision or so. You could add Qmatic anytime. So it's if you want to start low, you could do that and then just upgrade as you like.
Right. And now, where are these made? Because I know you have a couple factories.
We do have a couple of factories, but the Q series it is planned here, it is engineered here in Switzerland, and it is manufactured here in Switzerland. And also like a Swiss watch, we have very streamlined assembly line, and there's one technician that is responsible to put the machine together and to put to make the initial testing. So it's really a one man made, or I should say, no, I shouldn't say that, a one man or woman made machine,
Person.
because we
One
do
person.
have one person.
Yeah.
We have so many female technicians here that it's just incredible.
Okay. Is it fun to work there? Is it stressful? Is it lightning? What is it to work there? Because I know that Bernina prides itself on excellence. I mean, excellence.
Well, it's not stressful. First, here we're in Steckborn, right at the Lake of Constance, so it's beautiful
Yes,
to
it
work
is.
here. But secondly, I would compare it like being a hummingbird in a full blooming flower garden. It's just like everywhere you go like, oh my gosh, yes, oh my gosh, yes. You have everything here. You have your domestic sewing machines, you have embroidery, you have overlockers, and you have the big babies, and everything is sort of a crossover fusion. So you always get stimulated. And working on a project from A to Z, I mean, the initial thought, the planning, the engineering, manufacturing, marketing, product launch
Are
is all
you
here.
are you in all phases? Are you from ground zero to from the inception all the way to here we are?
Yes. So you say, is it fun to work here? Yes, it is fun, but it's more fun for me. I really, I live the birth of the machines.
I love this. Now, what is the difference between the models other than the throat space, or is it just basically like you said, is you can add on more automation and all that kind of stuff?
We thought of not changing the machines. So basically, the Q20 and the Q24 are sister machines. Both can do the same thing.
Okay.
You do not get less features with the Q20.
So I think the thing, and I'm not gonna surprise you in this. I mean, other than the space, I mean, who can dismiss the space? The double stitch regulator coming up from the bottom. People, when you sit down at this machine, it is instant results. There is 0.0 learning curve on this thing. I was amazed at it, completely amazed. So congratulations for that.
Thank you. I couldn't have said it better.
Okay, so here's another thing. What are the exclusives on this machine?
The exclusive, gosh, where should I start? That's not an easy question, because of course you said the BSR. I think the long arm industry somehow changed when the encoder stitch regulation was introduced, but this was completely for the frame machines. Still, the sit-downs were manual mode. So when BERNINA introduced the Q20 sit-down with the BSR, the BERNINA stitch regulator, that was completely a different story. So I think that was the wonderful thing that opened the long arm world. And speaking about the Q20, what I like is also the kickstart feature. As I said, working here in BERNINA is great because we have the domestic sewing machines and so on. So we found a fusion, a crossover from our domestic sewing machines, the kickstart, being able to quilt in a continuous mode without having to constantly press the foot control, which gives you the possibility to relax, think, it's such a different mode, such a different way of quilting on a sit down. So that would be something really, really special.
Different. I did not know that. I didn't know that.
But do you want to know why I fell in love with the Q series? And I have to say, I would not have believed, because I had a different long arm before, and I think every long armer on a frame can relay that when you start a project, you have to do a little testing, thread tension has to be correct. Right. And in between, sometimes you have to just crawl under the quilt with your flashlight and look how the thread is, And again, crossover, so much experience here in BERNINA with thread tension on our domestic sewing machines. I don't have to do that with my Q series, the Q24 I have. It just takes a couple of clicks to adjust the top tension, and then it's done. I don't have to do anything anymore. And it's numeric. I have a number. Even if I have to change the thread in between, I can come back to that number, and I even can have my settings and get it out anytime I need to.
Okay, that's big. I did not know that. I think we're all learning a lot today. So what is the largest market for this Q series?
I bet you want me to say the US now. Now, let me tell you a story that per capita, Australia is our biggest market. Down under, they are just crazy for long arms. But then again, of course, as a total, the U.S. market is our biggest market. Well, and I work closely with my colleagues from BERNINA of America, my long arm colleagues. I mean, it's just one family again.
Well, I will tell you right now, there are a lot of beautiful, beautiful down under quilters. You guys have it going on. I mean, congratulations for that.
Absolutely, I agree.
So okay, now we're looking into the crystal ball. Where do you see long arming in 10 years? But don't give away any trade secrets here.
No, I wouldn't do that. But I think I can see two ways for long arming. again, with the stitch control coming into sit-down quilting, I believe there are many more quilters out there that do not want to give their quilt top away anymore.
I agree.
Made by me completely. The heirloom quilt completely made from the beginning to the finish, piecing, quilting. So that is one way. But then again, we all know the computer world is just there. Development in computers is just so fast. While I think you and me, we had to learn computers and we are not computer savvy, the next generation grows up with computers. So I think that will have a huge effect on automation. That is going to be much more obvious in long arm quilting, and it's going to be much more accepted. It's just a different way of expressing your creativity.
You know, I have to say that 25 years ago, long arming was just kind of coming into our community. And I was really distressed with what was happening with quilts 25 years ago. In my book, they were being ruined. And now, I mean, I'm a quilting snob, and it takes my breath away with what is being done. And the tools that BERNINA has given us, I can only be ever so grateful for. I mean, it just enhances what we're able to do, right?
Yeah, right. You know, I always believe there's so many ways to express your creativity, whether it's hand quilting, great, perfect. Whether it's free motion quilting, practice, perfect if you can do that. But again, appreciate the designs, the digitizers, you know, it's just a different way of expressing
It's another way to do
creativity.
It's another way to do it. So, Aggy, how long have you been in this biz?
Oh my gosh. As so many long arms quilters, this is not my first career. So
Okay.
actually I'm a nutritionist. So many go, oh God, you're a nutritionist. Yes, I have a PhD in nutritional sciences and quilting. Actually I partially grew up in Canada, so quilting was in my veins. And at a certain point, he said, okay, what can I do? You know, and I just picked up long arm quilting. In Europe, I think I was one of the first to get a long arm. And I went frequently to the US. And I remember it was like 6 or 7 years ago in Houston. It was a Sunday, and I was about to get my super shuttle to go to the airport to go back, you know. And I was just at a long arm, and I was dueling around and enjoying myself, and all of a sudden, a nice gentleman was beside me, and he asked me a lot of questions about long arms, and I could hear a little bit that he was not American. And it turned out to be this Mr. Dreyer, the CEO of BERNINA, and he invited me, would you come to BERNINA? You know, we have a new machine, and a month later, I was hired by BERNINA.
Oh my gosh.
But see, like a lottery.
But you know what? That is BERNINA. BERNINA is family owned. It is, you know, through the decades. And that's the thing is, you know, I think people look and like, BERNINA. No, it's BERNINA. A big hug. That's BERNINA.
Yeah. True.
So Aggy, it's about 6:00 p.m. and it's about 9:00 a.m. So I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee. What are you going to go grab?
Well, I'm going to go home now and probably have a nice glass of wine.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much. And I hope we can chat again, okay?
Yes. See you in Houston. I don't know.
Yes. Oh, yes. Are you there for spring festival and market?
Only festival. I will be there for festival.
Please come by the booth, and I'm going to be in. It's going to be in R&K. So, thank you so much for giving us your time and your enthusiasm and your brain. You are keeping us nutritious on our long arms.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you. Have a great evening.